Cryptocurrency, Bitcoin, and XRP. Breaking news right now. The U.S. Secretary Treasury Scott Bessent, this guy right here, just dropped a huge warning on the Crypto Clarity Act. As if you hold Bitcoin, Ethereum, XRP, or any cryptocurrency, this is going to be extremely important because one of the top guys in the U.S. government, Scott Bessent, this guy right here, the Treasury Secretary, he quite literally just spoke about Bitcoin, the Crypto Clarity Act, and why we should pass the Clarity Act. Yes, he said, Scott Bessent just said how the Senate Democrats are blocking the Crypto Clarity Act, and this right here is a post that he came out with just a few hours ago, saying how more than a year ago, the House passed the Clarity Act. Ever since then, there's been progress. Thousands of hours of bipartisan negotiations took place at the staff and member levels. The Senate's committees on banking and agriculture advanced their respective titles, and Senate Republicans produced a floor-ready product that, as I type this, is waiting for vote. Now, it's disappointing, but not surprising that Senate Democrats are choosing politics on the cusp of a major victory for American leadership. Find another instance in history where Congress, when given the choice, opted to push an industry out of the United States rather than smartly regulating it. American exceptionalism was once a bipartisan goal. If clarity fails, then I have serious doubts. Yes, everyone, this is extremely important right now if you hold Bitcoin, Ethereum, XRP, any cryptocurrency, because these same Democrats, many of whom have taken millions of dollars from the crypto industry, proclaim that clarity lacks safeguards for consumers and falls short in countering illicit finance. Nothing could be further from the truth. Titles 2 and 3 materially uplift regulatory and compliance obligations for digital asset intermediaries, placing them on a similar footing with traditional financial institutions. The Blockchain Regulation, Certainty Act, and Washington lobbyists have spun a boogeyman for certain groups of prosecutors and law enforcement. Does nothing other than codifying long-standing Treasury Department policy that's remained consistent across administrations. Non-custodial builders and developers are not and have never been subject to registration obligations under the Bank Secrecy Act. And at this point, major law enforcement trades that once opposed the bill, including the Fraternal Order of Police, have now endorsed it. The Senate needs to vote now on this landmark legislation. The truth is that Senate Democrats are afraid to advance the Clarity Act as they fear that Senator Warren and the anti-crypto army she once promised to build in the days ahead, Leader Thune, will put this theory to test. Will Senate Democrats be on the side of American exceptionalism, or will they opt to cede American leadership of a global industry for fear of the bespectacled squirrel's left flank? Basically, he's asking whether or not the Democrats will actually help America as a country, or will they hold America back because they will not support the Clarity Act. Well, America will lead, or America won't. It's not more complicated than that. Believe Satoshi once said it best, if you don't believe me or don't get it, I don't have time to try to convince you otherwise. Sorry. That's because other countries like Russia, China, India, Japan, South Korea, all of these countries in the Middle East, like the UAE, Saudi Arabia. We have so many countries in Europe as well, in the UK, that have passed their own versions of the Clarity Act. So according to Treasury Scott Bessent, if the United States does not lead in this Clarity Act and we do not pass it, then we will be potentially giving up our first place spot in crypto to other countries, which he doesn't want to happen. And I agree with him 1,000%. The Senate Democrats and Republicans should come to an agreement. That's why we elected them. That's why they're in office. That's why they have power and they get money. They get paid for doing what they do. Pass a Clarity Act. There's no reason to delay it any longer. It's been a year. You guys have been negotiating for about 12 months now on the Clarity Act. Like, if you can't come to an agreement within 12 months, you probably will never come to an agreement. So just finish it. That's basically what he's saying. And I do agree with him, but unfortunately, I don't think the Republicans and Democrats will come to a compromise. I think they're going to keep fighting because right now on Polymarket, for example, there is less than a 30% chance that the Clarity Act will be signed into law. There's only about a 27% chance. That's it. 27% chance that the Clarity Act will be signed into law basically means that there's over a 70% chance that it won't. Those are big odds that it probably won't happen. And honestly, the fact that the Treasury Secretary of the United States, Scott Bessent, this guy has to go and make a whole post about the Crypto Clarity Act means that it's probably in big trouble. That is probably not going to be passed. Things are not looking good. Otherwise, he wouldn't be posting something like this. A very negative letter to cryptocurrency, to Bitcoin, XRP, Ethereum. The entire crypto market will basically crash a little bit more if the Clarity Act does not get passed. Just keep in the back of your mind that there's a big chance that it will not be passed. I hate saying that, but that's the truth. There's a big chance that it will not be passed, and just keep that in mind. Just hope for the best and prepare for the worst. But there are some optimistic signs, some positive signs, like BlackRock. Yes, a $15 trillion asset manager, BlackRock, has urged the U.S. Senate to pass a Clarity Act. This is a big deal because BlackRock is quite literally one of the biggest and most important companies in the entire world. Not only that, but also JP Morgan. Yes, a $4.3 trillion JP Morgan also warned that failing to pass a Clarity Act would hurt crypto markets. Everyone, this is a big deal because JP Morgan is also one of the biggest and most important banks in the entire world. So the fact that they're saying that we should pass a Clarity Act, the longer the approval for the Clarity Act is postponed, the greater the threat to crypto markets. That's literally what JP Morgan said about Bitcoin and the crypto market with the Crypto Clarity Act. And not only that, but the major cities chiefs associations, basically the heads of the police departments all over the United States, as you can tell, Major Cities Chiefs Association. It's a long name, I know, but basically the head of the police department at Albuquerque, New Mexico, Arlington, Texas, Atlanta, Georgia, Aurora, Colorado, Austin, Texas, Baltimore, Boston, Buffalo, New York, Chicago, Illinois, Columbus, Ohio, Dallas, Texas, all of these cities, Las Vegas, Los Angeles, basically all of these cities right here, Orlando, every major American city in the United States, basically the heads of police, the heads of chief of staff of police, basically, they are supporting the Clarity Act as well, which is a big deal. Basically, this is a Democratic and Republican issue. Both cities from both types of parties, like Los Angeles and New York, are part of this list. In Los Angeles and New York, two of them are some of the most democratic cities in the entire United States. So if Los Angeles and New York, the cities police department, can agree to the Clarity Act, and I think the senators should also agree to it. But unfortunately, there are a few Republicans also that are against this bill. Yes, according to this post, it says how a growing number of Senate Republicans say that they have unresolved concerns with a landmark crypto bill. What? Where did this come from? Yes, a few senators now that are Republicans just said that they are against the bill. This is crazy, everyone. There are a few people reporting this on X, saying how the Clarity Act's Republican problem is growing. Senators Rounds from South Dakota and Langford from Oklahoma told me today that they've got outstanding worries with the Clarity Act. The issue is stablecoin yield. What? Like, why would they bring this up in the very last minute? Rather, other than just trying to sabotage the whole thing, right? They're trying to sabotage it. They're trying to stop it from getting passed. This is the only reason why they bring up their issues in the very last minute. This doesn't make any sense, everyone. So basically, that's why there's less than a 30% chance that the Clarity Act will be signed into law. There's only a 27% chance because of so many Democrats and Republicans that are opposed to this Clarity Act. So we'll see, everyone. But basically, the fact that the Treasury Secretary, Scott Bessent, this guy right here of the United States, he spoke about the Clarity Act, why it's extremely important and why we should pass it, is a big, big deal, everyone. This letter that I read for all of you today is absolutely huge, but again, things are not looking good at all. So if you hold Bitcoin, Ethereum, XRP, or any cryptocurrency, get ready for a lot of volatility in the next few days and weeks. As according to the Treasury Secretary, there could be a vote very soon, and we will see who supports the Clarity Act, who's on the side of American leadership, and who's not. So we will see what happens in the next few days, but big things are coming up with the Clarity Act, and I will keep you all updated every single day. As I love you all. Join us, subscribe, share this video, whatever you need to do. Until next time, Crypto AI Man out.